for, how to cultivate desire, and how to increase sexual polarity, and what are the doorways into sex. We're going to dive into each one of those topics a little bit. And then, like I said, I want to tell you a little bit about the workshop that's coming up. If you want to be one of our 8 couples, we have an offer for you out here at the end. Anything to add?
No, that's it.
So a little bit about what Marriage Architects does and what we do. So we created a curriculum that we've researched a ton, and we look for science, we look for psychology, we get informed from all sorts of places. But one of the things that we do is called the relationship disciplines. And we don't have time to go over the relationship disciplines here tonight, but I wanted to point out that if you do these relationships disciplines, give unconditional love, have absolute vulnerability with your spouse and with yourself, believe positive intent from your spouse, give freedom and forgiveness, and just use honorable language all the time, and cultivate the erotic, you will have an amazing relationship. If you do these things well, you'll have an amazing relationship. If you don't do them, though, then you won't. And here's the thing. Most couples aren't doing these things because they take an intention. They don't necessarily come naturally. Once you put some intention to it, and once you start really trying, putting some effort into it, these things can revolutionize your entire marriage. And we're, like Tawnya said, we're all about the dream marriage. And dream marriage is really what we found is the key to fulfillment in life, not whether you're in a relationship or not, is growth and contribution. If you're helping something grow and you're contributing to something, that's the greatest fulfillment. It's basically giving outside of yourself. What we found is a marriage is a fantastic place to do that. So if we're doing that to each other, like I want to see her grow and I want to contribute to her and see her be the best she can be and live out her purpose. You know, what's keeping her from being her best? How can I help that? And she's doing the same thing to me. That's a dream marriage. That's where I'm finding fulfillment from seeing her thrive, and she's finding fulfillment from seeing me thrive. And we're both doing this, and it's like a snowball effect, right? If I grow, I have more to give to her, and the marriage begins to grow. She grows, and then she has more to give to me, and then the marriage just really comes alive, which makes me grow. So it just can go and go and go. And the tendency, in fact, the law of thermodynamics says that most things, or if not all things, degrade over time, and that includes relationships. This is the antidote to that.
Yeah, if you don't put intention into a relationship, it will degrade. It's where you focus your energy, that's where you're going to see change. So if you're not putting any intention or any energy into your relationship, then it's going to go stagnant, and then it's just going to start to decline. And we've seen it with many couples. We saw it in our own relationship. We almost ended our marriage because of it. And really, you have to put intention. And I know with having, we'll go over this we go over this more in detail in our groups, but with having kids and, both having careers, it can take some work, yeah. But with our tools, it's definitely will enhance your life rather than burden it. So,
yeah. And so this piece of the curriculum that we're giving you tonight is a part of a bigger picture. And this really is what we think covers the path to connection, intimacy, and fulfillment. Of course, sexual connection is a big part of this, but we teach this content, and again, in workshops and retreats and one-on-one with couples: attitude, awareness, acceptance, awakening, and attraction. So each one of these has a lot to unpack. And again, this is not what we're here for tonight, but we want to give you this overview so that you can't just take sex out of context, right? Sex, it's a part of a thriving, fulfilling relationship. And if you're missing, like I said, any of those parts of the relationship disciplines, if you're missing a good attitude, if you're missing an awareness, like I can't take her in the bedroom and have a great time with her if I have zero awareness of what her needs are. So awareness is a part of everything in our relationship. Certainly has to do with sex, but it's outside of that too. Awareness of her feelings and thoughts, my feelings and thoughts, so I can communicate that with her.
Yeah, our society has made, there's like this camp of sex being just physical. And it is partially physical, but it's also very emotional, especially for women. And it's a big mental thing, and it's also spiritual. And so that's something that we really want to help couples with, is grow their emotional, spiritual, and physical relationship. And sex is more than just physical. You see a lot of people today going out trying to fulfill a need by having sex with a lot of different people, or they're just having sex but there's no connection. And it's because they haven't worked on the attitude or awareness, acceptance, and the awakening. And I will tell you that once you do work on those, like, it's some of the most mind-blowing sex that you will have.
Ooh,
and,
high
and
five.
because that's something that we've proven in our relationship, and also with many of our clients who are like, I never had sex for so many years and never had sex like I'm having now. And and that's because it's not just a physical thing. There's so much more to it than the physical part.
Such a good point.